Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everybody. I love you all. My name is miahtheking, and I told my wife the other day to embrace her mistakes, so she gave me a hug. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. It means a lot, and if you're wondering why you should stick around, perhaps it's for the funny, corny one-liner jokes at the start of each video, or perhaps it's because I'm one of the few reviewers out there who can help you figure out if you need a game in 10 minutes or less. Don't believe me? Then stick around and find out. Now then, today we're taking a look at a game just released on Steam called Cafemart Simulator, developed by Romanix and Artani, think I'm saying those right, and published by Science Interactive, released in early access and selling for $8. Damn, that's cheap. So what even is this game anyway? Well, it's yet another addition to the plethora of simulator games to grace Steam with their presence, this time in Cafe Simulator form. I assume it's a lot like Fast Food Simulator and Supermarket Simulator, but let's find out. And yep, just like Supermarket Simulator. What the hell? Why is it pretty much the exact same thing? Okay, so there's no story, no plot, no purpose, no point. Let's just dive into the good and the bad, shall we? So, the first positive point for me was the graphics. Now, they aren't terrible, so yeah, there are times when it looks really good, like when you're walking around outside, and speaking of which, why even let me walk around outside at all this much when there's zero purpose to doing so? I mean, they really let you go far here for some reason, but yeah, the nightlife looks pretty good. Oh, and did I mention the quality of the food in the graphics? Yo, that looks so damn good. I want to eat my monitor. Like, I could taste it by looking at it. Now, that's good design right there. But then you've got the rest of the time where it just kind of looks average. But overall, good enough to be in the positives. Next up is the sound effects. There's absolutely zero voice acting here, but the overall sound effects are decent. Hell, there's even ambiance, which I wasn't expecting. Hearing thunder and raindrops outside, as well as traffic sounds and other stuff. Like, overall, the sound quality here, what little there is, was actually very well designed to sound very realistic. Up next for the positives is the price tag. I mean, when you think about it being in early access and how much content is there, the stability and the overall look and sounds of the game, and for $8, I feel that that's an incredibly appropriate price. Like, they knew exactly what they were selling you, and they knew exactly how much to charge for it, so I gotta give them credit for fair pricing. And last but not least is the user interface and the stability. The stability of the game actually shocked me. Now, it's not all perfect. However, besides these little clips that I'm showing you, overall, the game was actually running really smoothly, which surprised me. Like, it wasn't severely broken. There wasn't any clipping or screen tearing or any other issues. It just ran really well without breaking. I was shocked. Then you've got the user interface. It's nice and pleasant. Not overly complicated or super ridiculous or confusing. Easy to stare at, easy to navigate, and easy to understand. Overall, decent enough. Alright, so that's all I gotta say for the pros. Now we gotta go into the cons. But before that, I humbly ask you that you consider supporting the growth of my channel. How do you do that? By liking and subscribing as well as sharing my videos online. But even if that's too much for you, then at the very least hit the bell. It lets you know when I review games, and I review all kinds of games at all kinds of times, and I want to help you save money. I can't tell you how many comments I've got of people complaining and crying about how I didn't get to them first. And I feel super guilty that I couldn't help those people, so at least let me try to help you. So hit that bell, it'll keep you informed, and that way you don't make another horrible purchase. Alright? Alright, now on to the negatives. So I think the first negative for me was obviously, the blatant copy from another successful game. Like, it's very obvious. It's so egregious that it makes me shudder. Just look at this. I'm going to put them up side by side. On the left, you're going to have Supermarket Simulator, and on the right there's this game. Like, there's obviously no freaking originality or creativity here. You can't even say, but they added the cafe stuff, because there's been a bunch of those simulator-type games already made as well. They just took two of them and smashed them together, so there's literally no creativity or originality here. And it wouldn't bother me so much if it was just similar to those old games, but it feels like it's the exact same freaking game here. Next up for the negatives is the mechanics. Now, I missed the chance to play and review Supermarket Simulator because my children needed me for something and they're far more important. But regardless, I've seen others play it a lot and thought to myself, well, despite its overall lack in design and creativity, it might have some that key component known only as player retention, so maybe that's why people keep playing about it and talking about it. So I didn't go into this expecting next-gen gameplay or mechanics or anything. I came in expecting the player retention element that a lot of these simulator games seem to have, and for some reason, it's just not here. And the only reason I can think of is how awkward everything is with the controls and the mechanics. The accuracy for adjusting the proper prices, or the accuracy needed to pick up and put down certain things, the button choices for doing anything, it's all very awkward, and that's something that really needs to be smooth and cohesive for players to addict themselves to the gameplay. I'm constantly missing my mark, constantly clicking on the wrong thing, and sometimes certain things you want to place in your cafe just won't be set down the way that you want them to because of the game's weird design. In other words, playing the game smoothly and without difficulty is, well, difficult. And last but not least for the negatives is the gameplay. Without the player retention, the gameplay is just not engaging or connecting with me. I don't find it fun to just sit and stare and click. Are you having fun just watching me sit here and stare at a cashier? I don't think so. Look at this. Is this fun? I don't find this fun at all. It's just me sitting here. And since the gameplay is basically identical to the plethora of other simulator games out there, I can't give them any credit on it regardless. Though they do have a co-op option in the game, so you could play with a friend. Maybe that's what would make it stand out, but I don't know. I can't think of a single person in my life, past or present, who would ever want to play this kind of game with me, or on their own, or ever. So, yeah, that's all I can really think of to say both positively and negatively about the game. So, what are my final thoughts? Well, it's hard for me to dish on it too harshly because it's only $8. How can I literally say this game is complete shit when it only asks for $8? But is it even complete shit? Like, I don't even know. I don't really think so. Hell, I probably have that $8 lodged in my couch somewhere. So again, not that big of a deal. So for me, I can't really say yay or nay on this game. I mean, it has its ups and it has its downs. For $8, I think it's a pretty safe investment. And I think it's a pretty safe choice for players because it is only $8. I mean, if the gameplay looked interesting to you, and if my words didn't dissuade you, then I'm sure you'll end up getting a kick out of this game, at least for a little bit. Or maybe you've got a friend and you want to play a mindless, pointless game with them, or who knows what you might want to do with this thing. And there is a sort of progression aspect to the game that I can understand. The constant need to want to build up your shop and to have a bunch of employees and have all these different things in there. But, you know, I guess maybe just for me, it doesn't really work very well. But who knows? Maybe it'll work for you. Maybe, I mean, if you liked Supermarket Simulator, then here's another one that just kind of adds on that. So who knows? If you really like that one, you can come here and play this one. You might really enjoy that. Me personally, it just wasn't for me. I mean, I love simulator games, but this one just felt too empty, too bland, and too boring, and not engaging enough for me to become invested. Fast Food Simulator actually did a mechanic where I actually was invested, and I actually was getting addicted to the gameplay, and I could honestly see myself playing that one with my brother, maybe convincing him to play it. So hey, if you want to see us play Fast Food Simulator together, then let me know in the comments down below. We could probably have some fun with that. But yeah, I'm done. Overall, I think it's generally up to you guys. I think it's a pretty harmless investment, a pretty safe bet if you wanted to play this, because like I said, $8 is just nothing to, that's nothing to really care that much about. And honestly, when you think about the graphics, the gameplay, the stability, the co-op, it's actually worth its $8. So yeah, that's all the time I got for this video, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know in the comments down below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all again on my next adventure. So until then, I bid you all farewell.